Good morning, Lady B. Hi. Oh my goodness, you were on fast. Were you waiting for me or are you just awake? Happy Thanksgiving to you too. So, I don't know if you've seen my monthly spreads before, how I do the monthly view. If you want to see, I can show you last month. That's what I'm going to do right now. Let me find November really fast. So here's what November looked like. So this is paint, and so that's what I'm going to do right now for December, if you want to see. I just thought for sure. Oh, yay, I'm so glad. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm glad that you got to see me. And this is like going to be a super fun one because I actually have something to do, and it's not just, what do you want to talk about? No, it's, I'm actually doing something this morning. Oh, there's 6 people on. Woohoo. Hi, guys. Wow, I was not expecting anybody. I was just going to do my thing and explain as I was going, like talking to myself, and then you guys would have something to watch later. That's my plan today. But cool, now I have to keep people to talk to. All right, so this is a monthly view. Hi, Amber. Hi, Bianca. So this is a monthly view. And as you can see, this is an extension, so it doesn't have a lot of decoration on it, but it used to have a pink stripe across here. And let me fix the light really fast. Happy Thanksgiving. Is that better? You can kind of see what it's like natural light, so it's hard to see. But, so if you can see this kind of, I painted over it last night, this pink stripe. You can kind of see it. Actually, that light made it worse. I'm going to close it a little bit. I don't know. Can you guys see? Is that like okay for you to see? Okay, so you can kind of see that I painted over this pink strip. It used to be pink. And now I put a little bit of gesso over it, and this is the one I'm using right now. It's a Jane Davenport gesso. I love it. It's super thin white paint, basically. And it dries really, really fast. So I did that last night so that you couldn't see the pink. And then I did it over here in the corner. See where there's like no lines? Because I'm going to put a stamp there and I don't want the lines through the stamp. So I'm also going to put a stamp right here in this box. So I'm going to trace it with a pencil, and it's just a very light line, and it doesn't have to be perfect or even connect all the way, because I just want to cover these lines with the gesso. And this is so that when I put the stamp down, well, that's a lot, it will show up and not go through my paper to the other side. So are you guys all done cooking? Is that why you're able to be on? Or are you Taking a break from cooking. I do, but it's like brand new. Like I just started, so I'm starting in December. I just haven't gotten that far yet. This week has been a little weird to start like doing social media on the regular because my kids aren't in school, so my schedule's not like my real schedule. So I'm just smearing this with my finger to get a thin layer. You don't want it too thick because then it takes forever to dry. And you can't do anything to it until it's dry. So I'm just gonna, and I don't care about my pencil line because that's gonna get covered up. I just want a thin layer so that the stamp doesn't bleed through to the other side. And I gotta do it a couple more times. Let's put this guy over here. That's light coming from the window. It's bad. I don't have a real setup. I'm just in my dining room. Oh, yeah, I will totally do that. You have to tell me what it is, and I'll put it on my social media calendar. For real. So. And that's a terrible outline, and I'm only going to put just a tiny bit. Whoa, this is coming out so fast. So this is what it'll look like when it's done. Can you see that? I practiced last night. That's my plan. So. It's going to be weird doing this live because there's dry time. You have to like wait for things to dry. So I have to fill that time with something. So I'm just using my finger. And all this stuff is soap and water will take it out. So I'm not worried about my manicure. Yay, make breakfast and listen. I'm so excited. I have people. I was not expecting there to be anybody. It's Thanksgiving. So, and then I've got one more. So I've got that guy. And okay. So I've got one more little guy I'm going to put down. And then I'll start showing you something cool. This part's kind of boring. I thought about doing it by, before I came on live, but then I thought they're going to wonder how I did it. So this is how I do it. And this side is the thicker divider. It's, the cardstocky side. So I'm not going to put nearly as much paint because it's not going to bleed through to the cardboard. So I'm just going to and I don't care about my pencil lines at all. Okay. So while those things are drying, I'm gonna stamp the top. So I picked this stamp. I don't know if you can see it. That's what it's gonna look like. You're not cooking. Lady B says, I'm not cooking and my mom has to work and I don't really like my dad's side, sadly. Aw. Yeah, we all have those weird family things. Well, originally I was cooking for my family. My stepkids are with their mom. My oldest son is here. My daughter went to her dad's house. My son is going to have Thanksgiving. My other son, my 13-year-old, is going to have Thanksgiving with his girlfriend's family. So it's just me and my husband and my 17-year-old and my dad, and that's it. So I went from cooking for 7, 8 people to cooking for 4. So I'm not stressed about it anymore. Okay, so when you're stamping, there are 2 different kinds of ink. There's Archival ink that's like waterproof, so when you put it down it doesn't move. Once it's dry, it's there forever. And that's what you want to stamp your images in, so your image doesn't move when you're painting them. So I'll show you how that works. So this stamp is going to go on the top. Yeah, it's really not. The holidays just aren't. And it's funny because, you know, my son and his girlfriend, they're so cute. And they're very young, and he's really young to be having a girlfriend. But, you know, there's really not much I could do about it. Like, if I told him no, he's just going to hide it. So I'd rather... Hi, Mika! So that's how it's looking. And you know what, her parents are really nice, and you know, she makes him do his homework, so I can't really complain. She's like, you gotta do your homework. And her parents are super strict, so like if she doesn't you know, she's expected to get certain grades, and if she doesn't, then she's grounded and can't see him. And so, you know, I keep telling him, like, everyone else's parents ground them for bad grades, so I don't know, I'm doing something wrong. He doesn't have terrible grades. He just doesn't see the point in doing something. Like, his math grade's not the greatest, but he doesn't see the point in doing something strictly for... Okay, so I have a slight problem here. See, this corner doesn't have... I don't have enough stamp for that corner. So that's why I like the clear, because you can see. So I just put ink on this side of it, and now I'm going to try to ink over it. It's going to throw things off just a tiny bit, and I'm not going to put any pressure on the other side. So it's kind of doubled here, but you won't even tell when I'm done painting. So I don't know. I think that looks kind of cute, and I'm gonna do this in green and red. It'll be cute. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Girlfriends are... It's weird when your kids would rather hang out with other people's families than yours, especially when they're so young still. Anyway, all right. I think these are kind of dry. All right. So now that's where it's gonna be like, what is she doing? All right. So this is a washi tape. You know how we always buy those tubes of washi, and there's always one that you're like, meh, I'll never use that one for... I bought it for those 3, and now there's this tube that's like, these ones are not going to be used. So this is one of mine that's just not going to be used for what it is. So I use it to mask off things because it sticks, and you can easily pry it up without ruining your paper. So now that these are dryish, I'm actually going to mask them. Yay, we are stamping! Hi, Mimi! So I'm actually making my December monthly view. Oh, that was my dog that just bumped the table. Sorry, guys. You're nervous to stamp? Oh, don't be nervous. So far, we just, I placed where I was going to put my stamps, and then I put white gesso over the lines to block out the lines and to protect the other side. So once I put the ink down, it might bleed a little, so I put this down to keep it from bleeding through too much, and to cover up like the color at the top of the page. That's how I got it white. All right. So now I'm just putting down. Nope, it's like that on purpose. So I'm just putting down this washi tape that I don't really love, and I'm using it like masking tape to mask off these little white spots that I'm going to put my stamps in. Let's see, is this one dry? Yeah, see, all dry. Uh-oh. Stuck down too much now. Come on. It's not wanting to come up. So nobody's cooking? What would you say? What did you say? Oh, yeah, it's a dream catcher. Thanks. Yeah, I get paint all over them. See, there's white paint all over it. But it comes off with water, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, my nail lady, I was telling her, you better make sure that my nails look good because now people are looking at them every day. You don't cook on regular days? I don't either. Well, I try to cook. I actually like cooking, and it's gotten better, but when my kids were really little, they used to just be so picky that I didn't want to cook for them. Because I'd make something and spend hours making something, and then they would pick it all apart. It was just, it would irritate me. So now I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and just trim around this just a little bit because I don't want there to be any stuff sticking out. And I think that's it. I'm not really worried about it too much. Okay, so now the fun part. This is the part where it gets a little messy. But messy in a fun way. Alright, so these inks, these Distress Oxides, are water reactive, and they react in a very different way. They're ink, stamp pads come in two kinds. They come in dye ink, which is what this is. Once the paper is that color, you're never going to change it, and you can't move it. That's a dye ink. These ones are water reactive in a way that they blend a little bit. Oh, okay. So this kind of ink, these are strictly water-based ink. So if it gets wet, it's going to move. It's like if you used a Crayola marker, essentially. That's water-based ink. If you get it wet, it's going to move all over. This is a dye and a water-based ink in one. So it's a blended pattern. No one has ever done this before. So this is like the first of their kind. And they work really fun. They do really fun things on the paper. So let's try. All right, so I have this is just essentially a piece of wood with a Velcro pad, and I'm going to put some ink on it. You guys talking about nails? Ooh, I had teal and gold not too long ago. Oh yeah, no, I'm glad you're listening. This is one of those things that it could be very overwhelming. The stamp aisle at Michael's can be very, what is all that? Yeah, so yeah, no worries, honey. All right, so I'm gonna just start on one side, and I'm just gonna paint. And I'm just smushing it. And that's why I wanted the tapes. And so this is gonna move once I put water on it. It's gonna do different things. So with this particular ink, the dye part of it, since it's blended, the dye part of it is gonna stay where it's at, but the water-based part will separate from the dye space, the dye part of the dye, of the ink. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna see the dye part move away, or the water-based ink move away, and the dye part stay when I put water on it. So now I'm just gonna blend some green in there. And you can see this little spot right here. It's because I dropped water on it yesterday. See that little fingerprint? Last night when I was setting up, I dropped water on it. Now, these things come in so many different colors. Yeah, kind of like the nail crackle stuff. Yeah. Watercolors are great. Like, I've done some really awesome paintings with just cheesy Crayola watercolors. Crayola is not to be messed around with. They've done some really cool stuff, and some of their new stuff, like they have those, I don't know if you've been to Michael's lately, or if you look in any other aisle but the planning aisle, but they have gotten some really neat gel pens and glitter pens and dual brush tip pens and all kinds of like lettering type style markers now. So I'm just gonna continue coloring in. And you have to be careful going over the punches, because if you drag, it will rip your punches, and you don't want that. Alright. That looks good. And I'm only going to do one side on camera for you, because otherwise it just gets boring. It's watching me. It gets boring. Okay. So now that I have that down, see my fingerprints? I have to go back and fix it. Okay. So as to not spread this mess around, I'm going to clean it up really fast. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is a water brush. Has water inside and paintbrush tip. I'm just going to squeeze out some water. You can kind of see the dye moving. But this is what I mean. It comes off so easy with just water. Kind of get some of it off my hands too. Alright, so this is like the little laminated part. It's not going to stick. It's just going to get on me. So just clean that part off. Alright, now we're going to take the tape off. And hopefully the gesso doesn't come up with it. Perfect. A magician? What? Not a magician. Although, I don't know, is that a compliment? I'll take it as a compliment. Happy Thanksgiving! So, there's that. Okay. So now we're going to stamp our images. Let's do this one. This is an acrylic block. It's really dirty, but you can clean that off. I could clean that off if I wanted to, but I'm lazy. So I'm going to put my image somewhere kind of close to the corner because I want to be able to see it and line it up in my little spots. So now I'm using the same ink that I used for this top thing, this ink. Oh, I went to type in Happy Thanksgiving, and as soon as I put out happy in my phone, put planner. Haha, that's all you talk about. That's funny. That happened to me in one of my other planner groups. I think it was the Mambi planner group, the one that has like millions of people in it on Facebook. Someone had posted a little meme like, I stuffed the turkey with, and then you had to put in your phone, I stuffed the turkey with, and then hit the center button until it made a sentence. And mine said I stuffed the turkey with a happy planner. So I feel ya. We all have problems. All right, so I'm just lining it up, and it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to paint around it. So there you go. You're on your way to church. So I'm super new to all of this YouTube, Facebook Live stuff, and my Instagram's been nuts since the tiny sticker book flipped through, and it's so funny. Last night it's like 10:30 California time, so New York it puts it at, or it was after 11, so it was like 2 in the morning, and this lady starts talking to me about one of my Instagram posts, and she's like private messaging me, sending me like we're chatting, like we're best buddies. It was so funny. And it's awesome. It's just like very weird. Alright. So I'm still have not adjusted to this, like talking to me like we know each other. It's funny. So I'm just going to get as close to it as I can. And if it goes over a little, it goes over, but I'm not too worried about it. So the ink on the gesso is going to be a little bit brighter than the ink on the paper. How's that look? Yeah, this is the Tim Holtz Crazy Birds stamps, and there's like 6 or 7 different versions of these birds. They have dogs and cats now that all have the same like kind of sad, creepy look, but I think they're just so cute. And then I'm gonna do this really fast so I don't forget, because I'll forget. I've got this set of stamps, and it looks silly, but what they are is they go with the birds. So this is holiday stamps that go with those birds. So like bunny ears and happy Easter, flowers and a hat for like whatever, you know, you could put a hat on them. Hello friend, happy birthday, so you can do like a balloon and a present, and you could put a party hat on them. And down here, 4th of July, you get a flag, and it says happy 4th of July. So I'm going to use the Santa hat in the corner. And I'm going to put Santa hats on my birds. Are we talking about the faith planner? They have it at Hobby Lobby. Or they have it at my Hobby Lobby. Right? Aren't they so cute? Oh, I love these. And if you get Happy Mail from me, I make cards with this set all the time because they're just so cute and you can make them do anything. It's like there's bunny ears, there's like a little witch hat for Halloween, there's little hearts, you can get them to like hold things for you. It's just, they're cute. You can make the cutest cards with them. Trying to put my stamp back. There we go. All right. So, back to what I was doing. I'm going to get as close to this bird as I can. I might need more ink. So I've never actually tried a pre-recorded video, not since I restarted my YouTube, and I'm kind of wondering how this goes live, or should I, when I do these, should I do them pre-recorded? I don't know. You guys, I guess, are my guinea pigs. Okay, so that's how it looks right now. So now, I'm going to move some stuff around because I don't need it anymore. Now I'm going to bring in some other inks. It's the same kind of ink. It's the water-based ink, and we're going to paint with them. Are those stamps at the top? Yes. This is a stamp. That is a different, these are Tim Holtz and this is Dylusions. So that was a stamp. So now I'm going to paint with ink pads. I need to get a different water brush. This one doesn't have enough water in it. Alright, so this is a Jane Davenport one, but I've got a bunch. I like this one because it has a really fine tip. So we're going to paint with ink. Alright, so I'm going to do this bird blue and orange. So I think I'm going to go with the brighter orange. And this that I'm working on is a dry erase board. But you could also use like an acrylic block, or a piece of wax paper would work. You just use the ink like a stamp. And I put it right next to it so I remember what color it is, because some of them are like really close. There we go. And then the blue. And then I'm going to use this like a paintbrush. So I've got to get it a little wet. We're going to do blue. And we're just going to, I just paint over what's there. So I'm going to take the blue and just kind of go over the lines of the stamp. So that's kind of how I do it. This is like a little too wet now. You can kind of see where the water is pushing the red dye away. That's an effect that I wasn't looking forward to. So I think it's too wet, and so now I'm going to soak up some of the water. Kind of pulled all the paint out. This is kind of an experiment. I've done it on gesso before, but never on cardstock, only on a canvas. And so it's kind of like making rings, which is a little weird, but we'll figure it out. And you know what? If worse comes to worse, I only have to look at it for a month. So there's that one. And to clean off the brush, you just squeeze a little bit, and then a drop of water will come out. And that's it. Now it's ready for a new color. And so over here, since I'm not going to use these colors anymore, I just wipe it off. I'm going to try to fix this spot with a little bit of red. Yeah, you absolutely can use Crayola markers with a brush, and yeah, because Crayola markers are the same as these ink pads. It's water-based ink. I mean, you can use Tombow brush pens. You can see how the water's reacting. Okay. All right. So let's do this one really fast while that one's drying a little bit. Let's do like a red brown, and let's do this one in browns. Or you know what? Let's do this guy in brown, and I'll go grab a green. I want to use something that's not this green. Let's do this one. And with the darker color, I'm just going to go over the lines, because he's already got shade right there. When you're doing stamps, it's really easy to, you don't have to worry about like how to make shadows and things like that, because the texture, the light and shadow are already on the stamp. So there's really not a lot to worry about. Like, you just put the dark colors where the lines are and the light colors in the middle. Yeah, that green's a fun green. It's called Mowed Lawn. This distressed ink palette, I love them. I have all the colors in mini. I have like a third of the colors in the big Oxide pads, and then I have all the markers and the paints and the stains. So yeah, I have fun. I like love this stuff. I could sit here all day and paint and talk to you. Okay, that looks like a lot. So let's dry off my brush a little and kind of smooth that out. A little bit of water will dilute the color enough so it's not so overwhelming. What do you think? The teal? I want to see that teal. Which teal? Okay, I'm going to point and you tell me which one you're talking about. That one is not teal. So this. Can you tell me the color? The name? Lady B. Which one? Bottom left. That one. Or top right. That one. This one is more like a mint green. I can show you really fast. Let me grab some scrap. It's more like mint. And then sometimes taking them out, the lids come off. This one is a deep forest green. This one's called Pine Needles. So it's a deep, deep green. But it's like a deep blue green. But if you want to see a teal, honey, I've got a teal. This is my favorite teal. It's called Peacock Feathers. Teal. Yeah. This was in the first set that I bought. You see them, I keep them in tins like this with the colors, and on my shelf it says blues. But I separated them, but when you buy them, they come in a 4-pack, and I think this one came with an orange, a yellow, and a pink. So you get like enough to do something. You don't get like 4 blues in a pack. And I believe they're, I want to say like $7.99 for the 4. They have them at Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby in the stamp aisle. Hobby Lobby has better, what's the word, selection of color packs because they come in a 4-pack. But Michael's carries like consistent ones. So if you're, and they're numbered. It's, if you are interested in collecting these dies, we'll have to talk about it because I mean it was hard to find all of the colors. Like I literally had to stalk places and look online, and yeah. And it's like the markers, they're sold in a set of 5, and there are some that I don't have because they never put them in a set. There's like 65 colors, and there's maybe 6 colors that I cannot find anywhere. That I have to go to a store that has them on the counter, like buying 1 marker at a time. And none of the art stores up here where I live do that. Like Michael's won't do it because single markers get stolen really easily. So yeah, so there's still a few that I don't have, but I have to order them single marker at a time online. Oh, I will put all of this stuff in the details, so you don't have to worry about writing it right now. Okay, so I still have 1 bird to do, and then we got to do the top, and then we're done. So this bird, I think we're gonna go with the brown, the red brown. All right, we got to do the hat still. Awesome. We're rolling though. I did this pretty fast. I'm just gonna go straight from the pad now because I kind of want to. Ooh, this is pretty. Kind of want to not keep you guys here all day. So this part is just basically like coloring. Like it's just really like coloring. Like I put the darker color where it needs to be, you know, in the shadows. So I got a little pool of water going there, so I want to suck it up. I don't want so much water. There's all kinds of different like resist techniques. Like you could write on this page with a white crayon and then paint over it and you'll get a resist. You'll see the white behind it. So now I'm going to use my red and green. It's just the same colors in a different kind of ink. I'm going to get as close to the birds as I can, keeping the colors true. Okay, I think we can move on to doing the hats. This is the fun part now, because now we're going to use some glitter glue. These are Stickles. They're acid-free glitter glue, so you can't really use glitter glue from the dollar store because it will eventually yellow and mess up your pages. If you're into archiving, like you wouldn't use this you wouldn't use glitter glue from the dollar store in like a photo album or something because it'll mess up your pictures. So this is Archival acid-free glitter glue. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use a white pen, and I use the Signo Uni-ball. This is the broad tip one because I use it to fill in things. So like his eyes right here, the blue ink kind of messed up his eyes, and I want the whites to show white. So I'm just going to go in and fix them. And then on the Santa hat, I want this to show up white in this part. Oh yeah, there's always glitter. I am a glitter girl. So I'm going to go over his eyes. Oops. And this is basically just so that the glitter shows up and doesn't pick up the red color from underneath. That's why I'm putting this pen down. Now if I wanted to, I could just leave it and just leave it white. But who doesn't want some glitter? Okay, so that's how it looks. Now we're going to go in with the glitter. This one is Cranberry. I like it because it's kind of a pinky red and it's not like your traditional Christmassy red. I don't know, I like it. It has a very fine applicator, so you can get right into the lines. And it's just like coloring with glitter glue. This is a little thick, so I'm going to take the paintbrush. It's a little paintbrush I was using earlier, so it's a little stiff. And I'm going to smear this out just a little bit. Because I don't want it to be like puffy paint. I want it to be flat, like paper. Let's just finish this one. So now I'm going to use, this one's called Mercury Glass. It's kind of like an antique gold. And I'm going to get in there like that. And I think I'm going to do the ball. So that's my little bird, my little Christmas birds. come out? There we go. You guys got really quiet. Working and watching? You're working or are you cooking? Stickles are awesome. I don't have very many because I just don't like hi guys, hold on. Okay, sorry, I have an issue with my phone. Oh God, it's horrible. Hopefully you guys come back. I have a serious issue with my phone overheating. Sorry, please come back. Sorry about that. Oh, it's terrible. Now I'm by myself. Yay, Amber, you're back. Sorry. Everyone's coming back. Woohoo. My phone gets hot and then it just shuts off and there's no warning, and I have all my sounds turned off and everything's on airplane mode, so I don't see that it's happening until it happens. I don't know. I'm thinking I might need to get an actual camera. I don't know. My phone, if it's longer than 15 minutes, my phone wants to quit on me. But I'm glad you're here. So that's basically, well, I was almost done. There's a few things I need to finish. And I got to do the other half of the page with the other bird. But for the most part, you guys get the idea of how to use stamps on your monthly. So I'll just talk you through what I'm going to do next. Well, I can do this part, but after I finish this part, I'm just going to color it out. My phone's cutting out again.